with Frank Kelly, the director of the Visionaries choir. Frank, tell me, how did you get involved with the choir?
Well, Aoife, Peter Gorey and John Delaney from the Fighting Blindness had this idea of starting a music school way earlier in the year, based on something I think they saw in New York. And part of it they felt would be good to have a choir. And I have many years experience dealing with choirs, of mainstream choirs, of what you might say fully sighted people. And I'm partially sighted myself, so I have a great understanding of the issues that partially sighted singers would have. So they came to me and they said, would you be interested if we started a choir? And I said, absolutely. You get the people, I'll direct them. Yeah.
And how did it move on from there?
Well, we came together in September to start with, the very first Saturday of September, and Peter had been going around his friends and neighbours and people that he knew through the Fighting Blindness and the NCBI to find people who might be interested. They all came along. We didn't have any audition or anything like that. It's just they came along if they liked singing.
I wake up to the sound of music. Speaking words of wisdom like me.
John, how did you get involved with the organisation?
Well, I guess I was involved with the organisation from its inception back in the early 80s. Along with a group of people, we set up Fighting Blindness, and over the decades my life has changed. I went off and I trained as a psychotherapist, and in the last 2 years I was appointed to manage the Insight Counselling Service, which is part of Fighting Blindness.
Fantastic. And then how did you start up the music and the Visionary choir here?
Well, it was really a moment of inspiration on the part of my friend and colleague Peter Gorey. He approached me at the beginning of this year and he had an idea. He has a huge passion for music and he just believed that music had something therapeutic to offer people. Music was a way of expressing yourself congruently. And we didn't really know how we would go about working with that idea. But as luck would have it, an email came across my screen one day and it was about a conference in London on the lives of visually impaired musicians, at which there was a really fantastic presentation from the Lighthouse Institute in New York. And they've been operating for over 100 years and they've been teaching adults and children the performing arts, but in particular music. And we were so taken by what they had to say that Peter turned to me and he said, we've got to do that in Dublin. And I knew instantly he was right. We came back to Dublin, we sat down with our chief executive, we explained to her what we wanted to do, and instantaneously she said yes.
To give all the love that he can. Isn't that right, lads? Yes. Well done. Because I actually had forgotten that note and you got it.
And you also have music lessons here as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. We've 10 students at the moment, 5 different instruments on the go, 4 people on guitar, 3 people on piano, 1 clarinet, 1 bluegrass banjo and 1 bouzouki. So we've a nice wide selection of instruments and 10 very keen students and 5 excellent tutors, as is the choir leader, Frank Kelly. The thing revolves really around the tutors. Unless you have good tutors that have a good way with people, that make it enjoyable, then it doesn't work. But we're fortunate in that all the people that we have are, number one, excellent musicians and teachers, and also have a very good way with people and make it fun.
We have a monthly magazine called Visionaries. I'm with Fighting Blindness because I'm visually impaired. So I just saw the article and it said if you're like to join a choir, and I said great, this is my opportunity. So that's really it, you know. I said I'd be with my own crowd as well, they'll all be visually impaired, so I won't feel too kind of because I kind of lack in confidence a little bit, you know, when it comes to these things, joining groups. So that seemed to suit.
The beginning of December, we hope to sing in Dublin Airport at the lighting of the Tree of Light, which I think is an NCBI sponsored Christmas tree in Dublin Airport, and we'll sing at that. And we're also hoping to do a concert or be part of a concert in Clarendon Street Church on the 17th of December for Fighting Blindness as well. So this will give them something to work towards, and it also gives them the buzz, and it also gives them the experience as well.